I had alright, this is the first video, and it's really loud after I posted like the intro. So ignore the noises. Uh, I was thinking because I first went to college to be a paramedic, right? I was passionate. I have mad respect for paramedics, like mad. That's why I wanted to be one. They saved my life. You know, but I had this fear of blood at the time. Like I couldn't do it. I couldn't stick a needle in somebody. Like when that time came to do that part, like, and they're like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" So I worked on cars instead. But anyway, I really do have mad respect, and I ended up, instead of becoming a paramedic, I became a patient. I became the opposite, the one in the ambulance still, but not the way I wanted to be the one in the ambulance. But mad respect because they've been wonderful to me. I really do appreciate what they do, and they go through a lot, and I know I've put them through a lot, and I really appreciate them. And I'm sorry for the trauma I may have put them through. I know they go through worse than what um, they've dealt with me. But anyway, so I was thinking, working on cars, I really loved it because it was like a jigsaw puzzle, right? And getting up in the guts and stuff, and after all the trauma I've experienced, getting my skull cracked and stuff, and seeing all the blood all over me, and I've been covered in my own blood like more than ever. I came overcame my fear of blood, and I'm no longer afraid of that. And I'm like, damn, I could be a surgeon, like getting up in those guts, like I did in the car with the car. Like I get up in a human's guts and fix them up. I feel like without being phased. I could probably be a paramedic too. Why am I comparing cars to people? But like, yeah, like the whole jigsaw puzzle thing. Like that'd be cool if I didn't have brain damage and my life was a different way. Originally, I wanted to be a theoretical physicist and paramedic, you know. But then when I discovered cars, um, I'm not sure what. I guess like because I had a kid and I wanted something that led to a career, and I was kind of interested in cars. I did have an interest, and I found out it involved physics and stuff. So I was like, all right, I'll give this a shot, and I fell in love. Like once I realized what a puzzle, and I like puzzles. I like engineering, like putting stuff together. The end goal was to have my own shop, right? And I wanted to have my own shop and fix up old cars, and my kid would paint them like cool stuff, not just like paint on color. No, like she is an awesome artist. I just wanted to work on cars, and my kid, well, she'd probably be older, but by that point, but like she loves art, and she was all into it too, and she was all for it, and she painted them cool stuff, because she's already like she's 7 and she could draw. Like I ain't never seen a 7-year old. She's been drawing since she was 2. She's insanely good. But yeah, that was the dream. I've always put random, like I'm good at taking random things and making it work, taking broken things and making them work. For example, I'm not tech savvy, which is probably why I shouldn't be a surgeon. But anyway, I mean, I was good with cars, but like with like technology these days, smartphones and stuff. But back when I had a laptop, for example, I couldn't get the SD card to work. So I got it to work though, because I fucked around, found out I fucked with it until I made it work with a rubber band and paper clip, like shit like that. And sometimes like with this broken drum set I ordered, I knew what I was in for. I kind of didn't expect like how bad it would be. Like I really just wanted the kick drum, like the pedal, for the most part, because I could get it cheaper than getting the pedal alone. Like, and it was just like super. But I became invested in the whole set because it became a puzzle and it was messed up. And I've been messing with it ever since, rigging it, messing with the acoustics. And that's another thing. I like building drums out of nothing. And styrofoam. My thing died. But yeah, I like building drums, as I was saying, out of nothing. Styrofoam, I've made them out of buckets. My kid and I, it was something we bonded over to. So that's fun. I like making stuff out of nothing. I like fixing broken things in ways I don't like instructions. No, I put things together without instructions. I like to use my brain, and plus a lot of the time, like the black and white writing, especially if the instructions are just black and white. There's no color. There's no like picture. It's just words. It's like my brain's like no. But a lot of the time, just it makes sense just looking at it, and yeah. So where was I going with this? Yeah, I like fixing broken things, making things out of nothing, and I'm pretty good at it. Not to toot my own horn, like I'm not the best. Like I can't fix everything. I fail sometimes. I've been working on these drums for a minute. These broken drums. I actually have a video of the journey I'm putting together with this drum set. Um, but yeah, so that's been fun. Still working on it, and I don't know. I have enjoyment out of puzzles and thinking, and I don't stand a chance about being a theoretical physicist at this point. I'm a high school dropout. I don't want to dip into like my childhood. I was a street kid. Like um, it was. I don't want to go back there. But anyway, I didn't really attend high school or attempt. Um, I had I didn't really life. Um, Pretty much like the only class I passed was art with a B, and then everything else I just skipped. And my guidance counselor said, if you don't drop when you turn 17, we're gonna drop you. I was like, okay, fine. And I dropped out when I turned 17. And I didn't realize what potential I had until I got with my ex-husband, and he introduced me to physics. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is interesting. So I started reading about it, and then I realized, hey, I have the ability to think. And I started reading, and then I fell in love with math. I discovered it was the poetry of the universe, and I really got into stuff. And then I realized, hey, I've been like engineering stuff my whole life. Like, I could, I've been doing physics. Hey, physics is relevant. They don't, in school it used to be like, oh, this is stupid. Like, I'm not going to use physics or math in everyday life, but you really do when you think about it. And I'm like, wow. And I fell in love. And I wanted to be a theoretical physicist, and I wrote theses. I had a freaking 5-page paper written at one point, like between Bohr and Schrodinger. I took it had to do with wave function collapse and the mathematical um, the brain hurts. The brain damage really like messed me up. But like, yeah, I was into it. That I had a thesis that a new theorem of a mathematical theorem of reality. Back when like string theory was turning into M theory, and it was like a thing, and I was keeping up with that shit, and but anyway, I ended up going to college and realized I had potential. 4.0, president's list, dean's list. And I got my GED, honors in literature. Like, got shit published. Like, it was a lot to take in, especially after I started going to college, and they let me go even though I hadn't completed my GED yet because my grades in GED. And it was a fucking lot because I was homeless because I left my ex-husband and I was on the run and in the shelter and like doing all that, and then boom, boom, boom. I don't know how I did it, and the whole time, like just like what the fuck, and but since the skull fracture, it's like I could barely count change. Yeah. But like, I can still put things together, one day at a time, step by step, And it wasn't like the grades in college that mattered to me. It was just like it was fun. Okay, like it was the whole experience and learning. I enjoyed it, and I gained from it, and I did. I was kind of a perfectionist in a sense that I really wanted to perfect the art. Like in speech class, they said I'd be better at doing lectures. They should never let me pick the topic. Oh my gosh, one of them was music. I did a speech on music and music therapy, and it was like an hour long. I had to cut it down to 5 minutes, and it was so hard to do. And I was passionate, and I was passionate about my research papers. And oh, when they let me pick my own topics, oh man, I had to get it perfect, and it wasn't perfect for the grade. It was perfect because I had to for myself because just yeah. And there's a ramble, and I don't, I just like fixing things. It has I haven't changed. I feel like I've dumbed down a bit, but I'm still passionate about that shit, and I want to go back to cars and get up in them guts. And I'm not afraid of blood anymore. And but like I don't think I should be a surgeon, but like I think I if I didn't, like I said, I'm done with smartphones and stuff. Um, but like I don't know why I'm comparing people to cars, but getting up in them guts, like putting that together, is interesting. Do I sound like a serial killer? No, it just fascinating stuff, interesting things. I like to do still, despite everything that had trauma. Um, so there's that ramble, rants. Okay, that was that. I don't even remember um, how like everything. I think I said stuff that was on my head, and it's all clear out. Okay. All right. Bye. Bye. I did get a cheap drum set, a used one, and I really just wanted a pedal that wasn't like freaking expensive as heck. And this was used, so it was cheap as heck. I was like, well, it comes with a pedal that's pretty much half price of most of the pedals that I can conveniently get like through the mail, and I could use this with. I have a bunch of ideas. I like to build my own drum sets, but the bass drum would be cool too. And so I get it for super cheap. These were wrapped up, but this wasn't, because there's a piece missing out of it. I don't know why it don't make sense. If it seems like the only part of this 3-piece drum set that the person, whoever had it before, was interested in was the snare drum, because it's in perfect condition, already put together. This was not assembled, even though it's missing a part. I don't know where it is. They didn't use the pedal. The poor Tom. Poor Tom over here. Oh my gosh. Poor Tommy. And, but it's alright. Because I have fun with making drum sets out of nothing, and now I got an actual, like, messed up one I could tweak. They had some beef with Tom, though. And they robbed the kick drum. They straight up robbed him of his heart. But, and then there's parts missing, too. Like, it just don't make sense, like, with the kick drum, like, why there's pieces missing. But I don't know why this guy got robbed and Tom got beat up. I wasn't gonna put the whole thing together, but now you know what? It's a challenge, okay? It's a challenge because there's pieces missing, and I gotta fix Tom over there. I can't stand him. Why, dude? And I gotta figure out how to fill the gap, the missing piece, with the kick drum. So now it's a challenge, and it's a puzzle, and it's even more fun. And if it don't work out, I still got my pedal. And I'm not dissing on the brand. Like, this came used. Somebody else messed with the snare, the left snare in perfect condition. Like, they really cared about snare over here. And I don't know, it's just kind of weird. Like, I was expecting to get like kind of, because it wasn't in like the best condition. I knew it wasn't, you know. I think I said it was a fair or something, so I didn't expect it. But I at least expected all the pieces. And to be honest, I didn't really give a shit about Tom either, or actually Snare, or the or anybody. I just wanted this um, cheaper than everything else they had to offer, and that I could get mailed to me. They might have never used it. I know the snare was used because I know the snare and Tom were used because they were already put together. None of this should have been put together brand new. And because I even looked at the only reason I looked at the instructions because I was suspicious because, you know, the it should have come in pieces because some of the reviews like was talking about the pieces and stuff, and the fact that it came together like, and the snare's perfect and just I don't know. I wonder who had this now. Like who, what did they? They obviously like the snare. Why did they take the pieces missing? I don't know. Like, what's its backstory? What's your trauma? But yeah, okay, fun stuff. Puzzle piece. I just wanted the pedal. We'll see. Okay, we'll just see. I'm going to put it together, tweak it a little, figure out how to fill in the gaps, fix up tom. The snare I just put on there. And, alright, let's do this. Let's finish this.